Welcome to This Commerce Life. We are an unscripted podcast dedicated to small businesses and entrepreneurs in the retail and consumer packaged goods space in Canada and the United States.
I am Phil Chang, co-host and co-founder.
And I'm Kenny Vanucci, co-host and co-founder of This Commerce Life.
Our love is the journey to retail, and our passion is sharing that with you every week.
Okay, and then can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, can you hear me okay?
I hear everybody.
Okay.
Good.
Awesome. I'm just gonna make sure I got all these audio settings right. I got the record going.
You get your shit figured out, and then we just follow your lead.
Yep. Good to go. How's your 2024, Kenny?
You know what, buddy? It's going. It's going. I'm not too sure where the hell it's going, but it's going.
It's a good answer. I feel like saying the same thing, but no, it's been really good. It's been a great start to the year. Yeah, besides the snow and the rain, we've been very lucky. So very blessed and grateful for what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we had the couple days of snow, or that one massive dump, I should say, I guess, but whatever. It's gone now.
I love it. Just Vancouver is incapable of handling the snow. That's the problem. That's my biggest.
We're incapable of handling rain. What are you talking about? We don't even do rain. Why? I know we all think we do. That city's a nightmare. We do dry weather relatively well.
That's true. That's very true.
Right? Because they think about it, we always laugh is that we have an infrastructure that I don't think it's meant for the 2.5 million people we have in the Lower Mainland. It really isn't, right?
Nope.
We only have one highway into the city, and then it cuts into let's say 4 or 5 arteries sort of that run east-west.
Right.
So everything's always busy all the time.
It's very true. And it's not getting any easier. It's going to get way worse.
I mean, I'm lucky. I live in East Van, right? So everything's 10, 20 minutes away. That's it.
Me too. I'm in Kitts near Grand Island, so it's just a short walk.
Yeah, so it's not bad, right?
Yeah, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our audio's good. I think we're just fine.
Okay.
And you know what I was gonna say is when I watch you guys in rain, definitely when I watch you guys in snow, you guys actually remind me a little bit of LA, right? Because in LA, when it's fair weather, everything's good. As soon as it rains, everyone abandons ships, right? It doesn't matter what was supposed to be happening. Everyone's kind of like, I can't do this. I can't do this rain thing. I'm just gonna stay home. I'm not gonna bother coming out. It's
right. Or they turn into superheroes and trying to drive their little Teslas up a hill and end up going sideways and get stuck. It's like, just stay at home, please.
Yeah,
for everybody's sake.
Right. It's like utter mayhem when these things happen. So.
Well, in our city is exactly the same. There's days when I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, because what happens in our city is that they'll predict something or say something, and it doesn't happen, right? So then everybody just says horse shit, and they just do what they do. Even though you should always bet probably on the weather in our world, probably on the negative. So if they say it's really going to snow,
go opposite. Yep.
My wife went on remember last year's nightmare?
Yep, very much.
She left work.
She was stuck for a long time.
5 or 6 in the evening and got home either 1 or 2 in the morning. 8 hours. She's on Annacis Island.
Yeah.
Not Trail, where I grew up. That's 8 hours.
And people are going to Surrey were 14 hours in that band. It was like
it's nuts.
It's a road.
They told us it's going to snow. It's going to snow.
Home.
And I know they probably said the week before it was going to snow and nothing happened.
Yeah.
But, it's just not worth it in our city. We're really not capable.
It's very true. Just stay home.
Just stay home. That's my solution. Just stay home. Plus, you're on your couch all day. How bad is that? Come on, really? Let's get through it.
It's very true.
All worst things in life. Anywho, what are we doing today?
We have I think we have a really cool and unusual podcast coming up. So we've got Amrit on, and we met Amrit at I did anyway. I met you at BC Food and Bev's award show.
Yep.
And we spend a lot of time talking to retailers and brands, but some of the things that we're trying to do is bring you people who are behind the scenes, who are doing some very, very cool things to help you
Thank God.
as a brand succeed, and that are, just essential to the infrastructure of becoming a brand, becoming a success on the Canadian scene. So Amrit's one of those. He runs Coho Kitchen, Coho Commissary. So cohocommissary.com if you're looking, Coho Coho commissary.com. And he's going to tell us about what they do, where he comes from, all of those sort of things. But I just thought, to me, I love these because I think so often we talk about success stories, but then, you know, I think of a bunch of folks that have come through commissary kitchens that, it's kind of like, oh, well, I started in a commissary kitchen. You go, what is that, right? Like, so if you don't know, you you know, is that a kitchen in your garage? Is it
Right.
like, in the
Right.
basement? But Emrit's story is really cool. So I'm gonna shut up now. The next 45 minutes is yours. We would love to hear about you and then also Commissary Kitchen and kind of some of the things you guys are doing. I just think it's for me in particular, because I don't come from food, I'm learning food, but it's such a cool thing to hear about. So anyway, I'm
That
going to
makes me
shut up
very
now.
cool.
Thank you. Welcome to the show. Tell us about you.
Thank you guys, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on the show and taking the time to learn about Coho and what we're doing. But you're right, commissary kitchens, it's a great word for many people outside of the food industry. They even associate it with the army because people think where the army people used to go get fed, like commissary. Or we get people that are like, oh, what's a commissionary? We're like, oh, geez, okay, now we're just getting into phonetics here of this is not even that.
Yeah.
But we are shared kitchen spaces. So what that is similar to what WeWork does for office space, is that we provide kitchens for food and beverage entrepreneurs of all levels that they don't have to build themselves. They can come in for a low cost, no upfront fees. You can start on a monthly basis and grow your business or establish your business in a safe, modern technology environment that has everything that you need in there. It has the cooking equipment, it has the cold storage, it has the freezer storage, it has the dry storage, it has the loading bays, it has a production pod for you to go in and start or accentuate what you're doing already. So we really want to remove the barriers for companies to succeed. We really want to supercharge them. And we found this great niche. There's been kitchens around for decades. This is not a new idea. It's what you do with the kitchen that makes it different. And we really found a way to make these kitchens layouts great. Like we're really good at actually building the facilities, but what do you do after it? How do you help the people in the spaces grow their business? How do you attract the people to get past that barrier of, oh, I don't know what a commissary is, so I'm just going to keep doing the traditional way of how I've been producing? No, we can actually help you scale and grow, or just keep you where you are, but reduce your costs. We can help you with all different types of your businesses. So a commissary kitchen is a shared kitchen space. You're surrounded by entrepreneurs of all different levels in a shared environment. We have 8 of them around the Lower Mainland, Vancouver Island, and Sunshine Coast right now. But it's an environment that allows people to grow and do what they need to do without worrying about if this equipment breaks, what's happened, or I've got to build a space for all my life savings, take a risk on what I'm doing, and then maybe it might work. And then you're out of everything that you've ever tried to do. So demystifying and also taking that risk out of the equation is our biggest benefit for people coming in the space. It's like, how can you get started or keep moving your business in the right direction without all the infrastructure costs, without the headaches? And then what else can we do? How can we help with your marketing? How can we help with your business plan? How can we help your business grow through our channels of partners and providers and contacts that we have? If you need financing, can we help you on that side of it? Can we connect you with the right people? Can we help you finance it? Do you need marketing support? Can our marketing team help push your brand, or can we connect you with the right marketers that will help you in whatever segment that you're in? So it's really enjoyable and fun. That's what motivates us. You get to see all these different types of businesses growing within your ecosystem, and they're helping each other, they're helping themselves, and they're so passionate. And it's not all roses. Anybody in the food and beverage business knows there's ups, there's downs, there's supplier headaches, there's customer headaches, finance headaches, whatever it is in your way. Square goes down, everything goes to catastrophe. Uber Eats is charging too much. So whatever there is, it's not always glamorous, but we want to be there to support you. We want to be a family. We want to be a community. So we've been very fortunate to have amazing entrepreneurs and businesses in our space that have helped us grow from one location 5 years ago to now 8. So it's been a lot of fun on this journey. And we recently acquired a B2C, a business to consumer brand called Purebred, out in Western Canada, which is an amazing bakery, which allows us to heighten our story to the public market now. So people that might not know what Coho is because we're business to business now can learn about it through our bakery business. So it's been a great journey and a really fun evolution of what we're doing.
Your space is also like you are, like you teach people how to do this properly, like food safe, regulated, all those cool things. I don't think a lot of people who listen to us, if let's say they're brands or entrepreneurs, probably do understand that doing stuff in the kitchen of the house is kind of a cool way to start. I think a lot of people start there.
Correct.
But it's not scalable, first and foremost. Two, it's probably not the safest thing, because if something does go sideways and someone does get sick, you're going to be up shit creek without the paddle boat or anything.
Absolutely.
You're lucky to have water in the creek.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of those things too, that you provide a safe environment.
Absolutely. With dignity. Like it's not some back end of a kitchen that somebody's left dirty and you have to use it because that's the only option you have. But you're right. Absolutely. We guide them through the health regulations, all the different loopholes that might come their way, potential legal issues, like whatever we see, we want to teach and help them learn. And then other people teach us. That's why it's a great collaborative environment. Sometimes we know what we don't know, so we're learning from that. But you're right. A lot of times we have people coming in, they're like, oh, I do this out of my kitchen. Well, good. Thanks. Good start. Yeah. But how do we get to the next level and protect yourself and protect the people that are consuming your product as well? Like, let's make sure that you're going to be sustainable and viable for a long time.
Yeah. I don't think they get that though, because they don't understand the implications of, litigation can be, you get someone sick or heaven forbid, they pass. Yeah. And you could lose everything. I mean, for what? For peanuts to work in a place that provides all these other wonderful things.
Full amenities, but you're right, absolutely. And that's what's great about the community side of it too, is that other brands look out for other brands that are producing in our spaces. So if they see somebody that's doing something incorrectly, somebody from another company might go over and offer them help or advice or guidance that way. So it's a non-intimidating place. We don't ever want people in the space that can't collaborate with other people, because it's a shared space.
Right.
You're around other entrepreneurs, and like I said, it's stressful at times. So people are running around, things are happening. You might have a bad phone call, then you got to deal with something that's on fire on your cooking line. So whatever it is, we want to make sure that we have the right people in the right environment. And that's a reflection of our staff too. The people that work with us, they really are passionate about our business. And we're very, very fortunate for all the teams that are underneath us that facilitate that growth of those cousin companies, because they're passionate about what Coho does themselves.
It's an interesting, it's also interesting because you think if you're someone who's designed or built something in your kitchen, unless you're the ultimate foodie, there are techniques and things that you just don't know, or equipment that you just don't have available to you, right? Like I think
it's scaling too for anything, right? Cooking for three of us is very different.
Like how you make it in your home kitchen, and the speed at which you might be able to scale it, even not even in a full scale kitchen, but just in an industrial kitchen. I feel like there's just so many things that make that so attractive.
Agreed.
Can I ask you about what? I have a lot of questions about kitchens, right? Because
please fire away. That's why we're here. You can talk about my Great Dane too. Like I'm happy to answer all questions that you want.
Well, you do that.
We'll talk about your Great Dane. I kind of want to know about the Great Dane. Can you tell us about so how do you intersect with Coho? Like, is this kind of your I have to say, so sometimes we do a little bit of homework and a lot of times we don't do any. On this, I didn't do any. Is Coho kind of your concept, or are you?
And if it is, how did you even get? Because I know you're co-founded. I've seen that.
Yeah.
But even how did you did you guys? You bored one night? You guys sitting around having beers and say, "Oh shit, we should do a kitchen."
Happens all the time. No, so where the greatest ideas come from.
8 kitchens. We'll start with one, and let's do it in the most expensive real estate in the world, practically. For funsies.
No, I've got a great co-founder and even better friend, Andrew Barnes, and we've known each other for 15 years. And this wasn't an idea that we ever had at any point in our history of friendship. But I came from real estate development. He was in tech. Both of us, we can't tell it now, but we hit our midlife crisis at an early age and wanted to do something different. So try something that was a little more exciting, but community focused, left a legacy, could help people. And actually, Kenny's not far off. We were in Hawaii together on vacation. Costco has a myriad of alcohol that is very inexpensive, so you enjoy it. You enjoy the sun, you enjoy some nice drinks together, and you start having ideas. And that's one of the best parts of a good friendship, is that it's not just talking about current events or people. You can talk about ideas. And Andrew and I have a great relationship. We've always bonded over food. But what we actually came up with in one of those nights was a food fund. We didn't actually come up with the kitchens. We came up with a way to invest into food businesses, because we thought, okay, we've been very lucky and very blessed at this age in our life that we've done financially well for ourselves. What else can we do with our money besides helping ourselves? So we looked at different ideas and we thought, okay, let's invest in local food companies, because we've always bonded over food. We've always loved food. We love our community. We both grew up in Richmond. I'm a little bit older than he is, but we're very fond of where we are. And there's so much the community's done for us. So why not give back? So our little Hawaii idea branched out into 5 friends investing a certain amount of money each. We created a food fund, but we want to have fun with it. You got to have fun with life, whatever you're doing. So we started having pitch nights. So we had Shark Tank, Dragon's Den type evenings. We'd invite food entrepreneurs, come in and pitch. We found these food entrepreneurs through one of our contacts at Van City. She was helping small businesses, but we asked her, like, when you can't lend to a small business, because Van City is the most liberal when it comes to actually lending around for banks to small businesses. We said, when you can't, send them to us. We're a little bit more risk takers at this point in our lives, so let's give it a shot. So we started having these fun nights. We went to a brewery, we'd have drinks, we'd have food, people would come up and pitch, and we'd have the Mr. Wonderful type attitude from Kevin O'Leary and try and get the best out of these companies and see what they can do on the spot. And it was a lot of fun. But when we got to that point, we started hearing the same thing over and over and over. We don't have space to produce. Our space isn't sanitary. It's not legal. I'm in the back of a restaurant or a caterer, and I get kicked out at any point. So I can't keep going. Or I don't have enough money to invest in my own space, so I don't know what to do. So I'm here to pitch to build my own kitchen. So as an entrepreneur, I've been very grateful and lucky that my dad's been an entrepreneur my entire life. So I had a great role model showing me what to do as you grew a business. So Andrew and I said, okay, look, there's something here. Let's give it a shot. Why not? We're both in our businesses. We've both done well enough that if anything happens, we can go back to our old worlds. We can go back to our old careers. So we thought, okay, let's look into this kitchen thing. Like, why isn't there enough kitchens? What's around? And there's been some amazing ground baking companies out there. Like Commissary Connect was one of the godfathers in Vancouver for changing the rules at City Hall. Sarb had to go through a lot of headaches that we took full advantage of because he was able to break the barriers down for us. But once we started looking at it, there was a big demand for a very limited amount of kitchens. So we thought, okay, let's start our own kitchen. So 2018, we had my building knowledge and Andrew's business knowledge. We paired them together, opened our first kitchen. Me knowing the city of Vancouver and their systems and ways, we know their permits take forever. So I wanted to make sure that we could get off and running as quickly as possible so we don't eat through our capital, because Andrew and I self-funded the first few locations ourselves just to make sure that we were doing the right thing on our own before we get anybody else's money involved. And we really looked at the business. We're like, okay, look, this combines everything we want to do. It's got community, it's got legacy, you're giving back, you're helping, you got food, you can do really fun things, but there's a business in there too. Like you can actually be profitable, make money and feed yourself. So we thought, okay, we went through the City Hall process, but we went baking only for our first kitchen. Once you get into grease, then you're into hood fans, suppression systems, sprinklers, all this stuff, forget that. So we applied in March 2018. By July 2018, I had the thing open. By September 2018, we were full. And we started accumulating a wait list. And then again, just grateful that from there, everything we put in started coming back to us. And we just had 1 location, 2 location, 3 location. And now we're very grateful. We've got 8 locations, 150 member companies that operate in our space. So 150 companies that have a viable solution to their kitchen needs, and they can grow and sustain themselves and offer employment. Like there's over 500 jobs that are now in our ecosystem that we're so proud to help support. And there's so many different programs. There's immigrant programs. There's youth programs. There's such cool things that we're able to do because we have that space. So a long-winded answer to your question, Kenny, about how it got started and where it came from. But it was an idea between 2 friends about how do we support a community, and it just blossomed from there.
I was just curious because, I think we've all learned a lot because you're quasi new to the food space.
Totally.
I've been around way too long. He's sort of new too, but we talked about food insecurity and how piss poorly we produce in this country in general prior to COVID. COVID definitively highlighted the fact that if shit goes sideways, we don't do much of anything in this country except export. We really don't. We don't produce. So it's pretty, that's a North American problem to large degree, but definitively ours. So that I was wondering because you weren't worried about food insecurity at that point. You really just liked food.
Yes.
And you guys wanted to do things. Has the mentality, the attitude, because now that you're in it, you do see, I'm assuming, that we do have some interesting challenges as a province, a country, a city. I mean, we were talking this morning to somebody, we had rain for 3 days and figured out, shit, we only got 3 ways into the city and they were all closed unless you came up through the south.
Right.
That was pretty problematic, right? I mean,
so true. Yeah, you really learn the constraints that you have when you go through something like COVID and supply chains are cut off, or that great flood we had a few years back when nobody could get anything in. It just awakens your eyes to how important local is and how important community is, because these community farmers that we have access to, they don't get enough recognition. They don't have enough attention that there's local products available where you can get your goods that you need. You don't need to go to a supermarket and buy everything that's pre-made in a factory somewhere rather than grown organically and naturally in our own backyard. So absolutely, we did see a lot, and we do see a lot of constraints, and especially the rising food costs now. That's causing another pinch there. Yeah. So people are trying to get their food, their raw materials for what they're producing in our spaces, and they're seeing that skyrocket, and they have to upcharge people. So again, using our power and our leverage to go to producers and say, hey, look, we have 150 companies. How do we get better discounts as a whole to the people using our spaces so we can reduce that food insecurity and help people have the benefits of being a community together as a Coho brand, rather than individuals going out and trying to get a price or go to Costco to save money. Even Costco's gone up. There's so much food insecurity out there that it's working together, spreading that message, having policy change, working with the government directly now. Like, we now get the attention of the Ministry of Agriculture and other people that we can work together on solutions and find out ways that we can work together, rather than the government going out and having surveys and trying to spend money when they don't need to, and just come directly to us, because we have the people that they need to talk to already. We can help them get there. We can help them understand why there's food insecurity. So there's so much that we did learn over COVID and the tightness that happened and all the natural disasters that we've gone through, even the fires that affected the interior so badly and wiped out crops and wiped out cities or towns itself. It's been a huge learning curve, and it's something that we do enjoy, because that's part of this business. We get to learn so much from the people that know it and experience it, but you feel it when you go into the kitchens too. Like, you feel the passion, you feel the weight on people's shoulders from that food insecurity and what's happening to their business because of that supply chain, or because, like you're talking about, 3 of the roads into town are closed, one's open. They can't get their delivery for the day. They've got orders that have to go out the next day based on that delivery coming in. All of a sudden, they're stressed to the max because that's not available. So how do we start having better channels for this, or food hubs that are available that can store this stuff, or ways that we can just be better together as a community? But we're trying to cause that change as well within our kitchens and help people grow without having that insecurity hanging over their heads.
Right. That's pretty cool. So you guys actually, you assist in procurement of raw material and too, you said?
We're trying to work with a global partner now that we have called Sodexo. So they're a huge food and beverage business, but they also have a lot of horsepower behind them when it comes to buying power. So we learned at an early stage of our business, there's 2 ways you can grow. You can push your head through the door at every chance you can, which we'll do wherever we need to, or partner with the people that already have branches into the trees that you want.
So much easier to partner.
So much easier. Sodexo, we thought, okay, there's a behemoth. They're not going to have values. They're just going to be out for purely profit, whatever it is. It's been lovely getting to know them. They're actually very community focused. They want to drive business to our Coho members. They want to help them with their procurement. They want to put them on their rebate program because they have bigger discounts than anybody with all the suppliers. They want to offer that down to our members. They want to help them drive their costs down, but they want to help drive them business as well, because Sodexo does catering and management for food systems of universities and hospitals and school districts and mining sites. They want to put Coho's members on their program so that when, say, an accounting firm downtown needs a catering program, they can pick all the stuff from our Coho members, and then our members get business without even trying. So ways that we can to help reduce their costs or increase their income. It's always been a goal of ours. We're now finally getting to it. You have to build a business to be able to create that. So now we built the business. Now we can actually get back to, hey, would it be cool if we did this? And we were spitballing this 5 years ago. Hey, would it be cool if we could increase the revenue of the companies in our space enough and decrease their costs that it's almost free to work at Coho? And we really want to push towards that, because then it just makes sense financially for them, but also help their company, help their business, help themselves, help their families.
Sure.
So how can we do that? So yes, we're trying to work with vendors to drive the cost down so the raw materials can be better for the people that are in our space, and they get better raw materials, period.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's been a fun journey.
You know, it's funny, right? Because I'm laughing because I think how many conversations we've had with brands and vendors where they're kind of going, do you know someone? I want to
Yeah,
be able to buy cheaper this. I want to be able, and you even us, right? Like we function this way a lot. We do a lot of connecting. We find people in our networks, and you think,
totally.
gosh, we've got like if you were hooked up to Emrit and his group, like all of a sudden that conversation gets shorter, and then brands that you really love, all of a sudden they've got a shot at really being able to, because otherwise you're still only, by yourself. You get a connection from us, it just gets you a hello, how are you? You're still negotiating as a one-off brand, could you
Right,
possibly do something for me now?
right.
Instead you go this way and you get a chance to like work with Sodexo or someone like that could really
Well,
drive
your
costs
odds,
down,
it's
right?
just
Like
your odds get
such a big
so
deal.
your odds get so good, right?
Yeah,
And I
Absolutely.
think
yeah,
that's sort of the trick. Like
that's
it's a shitty
really cool.
industry on a good day. Like it's a
Yeah.
hard industry.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh, you
brutal.
have to love it. You gotta
You
have to
really
love
You
busy
do.
gotta
ends,
It's
right?
love it.
Because
really
you
tough.
Gotta love it.
can spend lots of days making busy and not making money.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
spent a lot of days
Right?
not making money. We can spend
Yeah,
a lot of
Agreed.
years not making money,
Agreed.
yeah.
We know that
right?
well.
Yeah. But but I think it's just really cool that you do. It's nice to have this
Yeah,
sort of resource like all built in
yeah,
to one side. When I outgrow you, I outgrow you. If I can go maybe build my own plant, warehouse,
yeah.
etc., who knows? You guys might even go for the ride. I mean, or there's investors around or other people, or maybe you can do a shared thing with a few other people if you guys have all hopefully made a little pennies,
I mean,
whatever.
like we've read our business plan. It's check, check, check. So we found that, and you're a proud parent when somebody leaves their space to grow their business into
That's
their own
awesome.
their own restaurant. It's amazing. We had a great story of a Hawaiian couple. For some reason, they moved from Hawaii to Vancouver. Usually,
Why?
it's the opposite. Exactly. Not sure, but to each their
All
own.
right. Thank you
But
for coming. We'll
they're
take you.
amazing. They're amazing. They've got a business called Hanai Family Table, and they came to us. They wanted to open a restaurant, but they thought that's a big jump. So how can we do it in a safe manner? So they started in our kitchens, just doing takeout and delivery, and COVID hit, so their business started to rise. They got a great following and a really good group of people supporting them, and their Instagram followers rose, their TikTok followers. Everybody online started to support them, and then now they have their own restaurant on Commercial Drive. So it's amazing to see that progress, and you're a proud parent. But at the same time, there's other manufacturers that do groceries, CPG products. They're growing. We want to support them. We in our spaces. So now we're building bigger spaces for those types of businesses to move into. So we now have a graduate program. So, for example, one of our spaces in East Van is 10,000 square feet. There's 40 companies operating there at different times of the day. That's a lot in 10,000 square feet, but they're different sizes. Different sizes, production area. So we're able to do it, and our kitchen managers do it really well. But we have a similar size square footage building down the street. We have 7 companies working in there. And that's kind of the graduate program where when you're growing this space, we can move those here. You can still be in our ecosystem. We still want to support you. Then you don't still have to go out and put the big cost into building your own kitchen. Come into this one, grow your business even more, and then let's see where you can get to. So it's great. The graduate program, we've got a soup company called Goodly Soups, and they've got a great social initiative where they employ people from the downtown east side to learn sales and grow their own employability. But they've got contracts across Canada now because they were able to have the production facility they need to have the fulfillment to grow and actually say yes to things. So it's really, you're a proud parent. Like you get this space that you're able to see these companies grow and flourish and feed their families and grow their story through what you're able to give as a medium. So it's really fun.
It's really cool.
It
That's
is very cool.
how do you get into a co-host? So let's say I'm making food. I'm thinking I want to be able to do this. You're the Hawaiian
Yep.
couple. Thank you for coming, but
Yep.
I would have swapped with you. All you had to do was call. You could have taken my house, and I'd
Happy to
gladly
take yours. I
have-
don't understand. We're
But,
not getting the trade, but sure, whatever.
yeah.
Totally,
But
totally
so
fine.
how does can people just show up at your door and kind of go, listen, I want to be able to do stuff in your kitchen, or what are kind of the
So for anybody listening, please don't do that. What Phil just said, that is not a good option to do. So
what's that?
we
Emrit said, as long
yeah,
as you have an idea, you just show up at his door and
Light it up.
Please don't do that. We'll have a lot of angry staff members that are going to start pointing their fingers at me and come to my house with pitchforks. So no, we love the community that we've got. We love that people want to be part of the space. So we've got a great intake team. You can apply online, go through our website, cohocommissary.com or cohocollectivekitchens.com. There's 2 sites. Go there. There's an apply now. You can do the intake form. We'll reach back out to you, see what your business is, see if you're ready for a shared space. Some companies need a little bit more help and guidance to get there, a little help with their business plan, because we want to make you succeed. We don't want to just take you in just so we need cash to have a business keep running. It's not in our best interest. We want you to be viable and sustainable. So let's see your business plan. Let's understand that you understand the health requirements from Vancouver Coastal or Fraser Health, which is our local health authority in Vancouver, and know all the pitfalls that are going to happen. Let's see what we can do to make you successful through the intake initially so that you can understand the structure it is. So we really want to be as formalized as possible. And that's what's enabled us to grow at the pace that we've been growing, because we have those systems in place. We have that availability. So we want to be part of our ecosystem. Awesome. Really want you in, let's get you in, but let's make sure that it's the right time for you and the right space, the right place. And we're really good about it. Like, we have baking only kitchens, we have gluten-free kitchens, we have the larger kitchens, we have the smaller kitchens, we have kitchen on the Sunshine Coast, we have the Victoria kitchen. So where you need it, we want to be, but we want to give you the right kitchen for your needs as well. We don't want to just throw a space at you and say, here's your rent, make what you can, we're out. Right. We want to be part of that journey. So that intake is really important to get people to the point of, we understand you and you understand us and what's a shared kitchen. We've said no to people too. Even if they had a good business plan, we have to make sure that they can fit in a community environment, in a shared environment. Chefs are chefs. Some of them are amazing and creative and they're really good at what they do, but they're not fit for a collaborative environment.
Typically the egos can get really in the way real quick with a lot of them.
Exactly.
And they know that, so I'm not criticizing chefs.
No, not at all.
They get it.
Makes them special and makes them good at what they do, and they're really brilliant people. And they recognize that too. So we start saying what's happening in the environment. Like, okay, this might not be the best fit for you. Let's try and find a space. And we have a lot of great collaborators around us that we can send it to. We have other kitchens that are shared around the space, so we can send them to them and see if that's a better fit for them. So really want to make sure that that intake is solid. So if you really want to be part of our ecosystem, website's the best way to get a hold of us, or Instagram. You can DM through Instagram, and our social media manager, Tiana, is amazing. She can respond to you and get back to you right away.
I feel like it might be, are you busting at the seams yet? Because I feel like...
Oh, yeah. We are very much so. We're trying to grow. So we're actually building a site in Richmond right now. So in Vancouver, all our lower mainland, all our spaces are in Vancouver right now. We're building Richmond out right now, which is 26,000 square feet. It's going to be Canada's largest shared kitchen space. It's in an industrial park just near the IKEA in Richmond. And we've got some amazing landlords in the Peterson Group. They're helping us create something for the community around there, but that's going to house not only the shared kitchen space, it's going to have a food hall front of house that we're going to be able to showcase our members in. So we're able to bring them to the retail side of things and give them a forefront for them to display their products and goods and sell to the public side of things. So we are bursting at the seams. Vancouver's got literally a wait list of hundreds of companies. It just takes so long to build these kitchens with all the city red tape.
And I live in the city like you. Like, our city is, on the best day of the week, a disaster with permits. And I know he's trying, but you got to try faster and try harder.
It's tough, right? Like, you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, and people are trying, and humans are humans, but it's just, it's frustrating for business.
Yeah, it's a tough city to work in.
It is.
But I guess so. We've talked. I've had chats with M&P and et cetera when they were working with BC Food and Beverage, and we were talking about the government trying to help out. And it's always the same thing, right? I'm happy to hear you're doing Sunshine Coast and the island, but we have a problem in this province anyway. Like, we have way too many people in one spot. Like, half our province lives within from here to Hope. We have a whole lot of land elsewhere. Is there any chances that we start building some of these kitchens potentially, whether it's into the north or mid province or out in the Kootenays, the Okanagan, where land might be a little less expensive? And then with the immigration base that we have, we move people into other areas to help those areas grow, as opposed to strictly the lower mainland.
Amrit to solve your entire...
Yes, I am. Listen, if he's in this pocket now, tough beans. He's part of helping us do food security. So yes, I'm asking him.
Yeah, absolutely. Food security and spreading the message.
How's that, Phil?
Go ahead, Phil. Sorry.
So when you're solving that, I have a terrible traffic problem in Toronto.
We don't care about Mississauga. We don't care about Toronto. Not interested.
Like,
We do a province at a time. First, we focus at home.
Well, Phil, you got a train system that's was supposed to be done like years ago. That's still not done in the middle of Toronto, right? Like there's options coming for you.
We're adding a train station once every 20 years.
Yeah,
So
there's
we're
progress.
I think at
That's
this
not bad
point
because you're moving.
we're 40 years behind. Like by the time the plan gets done, we'll have flying cars and self-driving cars, and nobody will want to ride a transit system at all. So anyway,
Absolutely. No,
it's
that's
like a totally different podcast actually, but
but to Kenny's point, no, we're not stopping here. We want to keep pushing. We want to keep growing. We want to help more communities. We now have a bakery business, Purebred, that has been an institution on the West Coast. We want to grow both the companies together because now we can have two different offerings for the public and help the communities grow in two different ways. But no, we're not stopping locally. We're going to be pushing across Canada. We want to tell the story. We want to grow across North America. There's entrepreneurs all over the world that have this need, and we've seen it directly. I've traveled Europe. I've met with economic commissions over there. We've traveled across the United States, from Seattle down to California, all the way over the other coast. There's a demand, there's a need, there's other people doing it in the space that we're working with and can work with in the future to acquire new locations to grow even faster race. So this is not stopping in Vancouver. We're in this for the long run. We're creating not only a strong brand, but we're creating a legacy that can help people for generations, and we're going to do it locally, across North America, globally. Like this is not something we need to stop. This is something we have the opportunity to grow in, and it's the right time, right place. We're hitting it where people understand the shared market now. People want to be part of a shared environment. You don't have to have all the costs burdened on yourself for anything anymore. There's shared office, there's shared kitchens, there's shared gyms, there's shared auto mechanic shops, there's shared shops, like everything, shared distilleries, shared breweries, like shared roasteries. This is the new way because now you can be around creative people and not have that upfront cost, especially in Vancouver, Toronto, Calgary, Montreal. Real estate's not cheap. No, you can't buy your own building. Even leasing a building now is ridiculous. Like the rates that we've locked in, thankfully we've got great landlords, but start your own business, here's your lease. Okay, you need 3 months down first and then build the space. Good luck. So yeah, whatever we can do to grow across Canada and then North America, we're going to do it.
Yeah, and welcome to Vancouver and the world of triple net.
Oh God.
Right?
It's a hard concept to explain to people.
Because nobody understands the concept. We don't even understand it here, but that's okay. It just makes it really difficult to do things.
It does.
I have a question. How long does a brand stay in your kitchens typically before they're kind of ready to go and spread their wings and do
like that? Like,
do
you churned a lot of people, or do you still have a lot of people from the beginning?
No, we have really good locks on the doors, so people have to stay. So it's pretty. I'm kidding. No, we have a very low churn. Thankfully, that's why the wait list is so big, and there's so many people wanting to get in. Is that we're able to, as we've grown, again, that intake system, understand who's a good person, who's a good fit, but also somebody has viability, somebody might have a strong brand, whether they're already established or they're growing. So we have less than 5% churn. So it's a very, very low churn rate within our system and our ecosystem. And very proud of that. Again, that's a reflection of our team, our managers, our staff, the amount they care, the amount of, we watch our Instagram. That's Tiana, that's our social media manager, her and Sarah running our market department. That's amazing. And then we've got our ops department with Andrew Gray and a whole bunch of his team. Like they're the ones that are face to face with our members every day, dealing with their complaints, their stresses, their headaches, their questions, their supplier issues, their equipment issues. Him and his team, JT, Connor, and Rajan, like they do such an amazing job at managing the stress and the workplace. That this is why, like we're bursting at the seams. We have so many people waiting to get in, but that churn rate is because of all those team members together, and then our finance team working in the background quietly. All these guys are part of that machine now. That's Coho, which is great, but that keeps everybody happy on the storefront.
It's awesome, man. It's quite the. I mean, again, to your point, you haven't reinvented the wheel, but you sure made the wheel a lot better.
Yeah. It's like, or I mean, just pick a car manufacturer, like pick Tesla. They didn't invent the car.
No,
they just took what was there.
They didn't invent any of it, really.
No, but they just took what was there and used it better.
But I actually think that you have reinvented the wheel in a lot of ways, because the traditional entrepreneur route isn't about sharing, right? Like the concept of sharing space, the way maybe the tech startups did it back in the beginning. Y Combinator, some of these guys, like here in Toronto, I've got Mars, so like being part of a startup there and being able to share expertise with other entrepreneurs. I don't think that's new, but where it is
True.
new is you have taken it into a place that traditionally is supposed to be, it's almost like a rite of passage, right? Like, because
Right.
you talk to entrepreneurs that are now that have, made it, and they're
Yep.
like, yeah, I was really lonely, right?
Yeah.
Because what I really needed was this.
Yep.
And I had to call like 18 people to find the one guy who made the jar that I need, but then I couldn't find the lids. And, everyone goes, oh, I had to go through that too.
Yeah.
Doesn't that suck, right? But it doesn't help anyone, right? Like it
No.
just
True.
means, oh, well, you all have to do the same thing. You got to call the same 18 people.
True.
What you've done is actually gone, no, stop calling people. Like, what
Yep.
do you need, right? Because I either know or I know someone, or if
Yeah.
you're doing something that we've never done before, we'll learn it together and then
Yeah.
I'll be able to share that. You'll be able to share that. Like,
Bingo.
and I think that is new, right? Like that
Yeah.
is
I
not
think that
something
part
that,
you're totally
especially in the
right.
food space, I think
Well,
it's
thank
not
you.
a thing, right? Like it's,
That's true. That's
you know,
thank you. But it's again, myself and my partner and the people that work with us, like everybody gives a damn, and that's what it boils down to.
That
You
makes
just
a difference, right?
give a damn about the people using your space.
Yeah.
Give a damn about the entrepreneurs and the people that are trusting you with their money. Give a damn to the shareholders that have invested in our business
Yeah.
that want to see us grow because of what we're doing in the community. Just give a damn, and it opens the doors. Listen to people. Stop talking. Like listen to everybody that's in the space. Listen to their complaints. Listen to their wins. How do you amplify them? How do you listen to your staff? They're the ones that talk to the people every day. Listen to them. Give a damn, and then wow, it works. It's not,
Yeah.
again, it's not rocket science, but people aren't doing it. So that's one of the advantages that we always say, that myself and my partner, neither of us came from food. So it didn't give us any blinders of how things have to be done. And we still live to that now. Like, who can we partner with that might be unorthodox, that could be really good for the business? And we shot for the moon, like, hey, Sodexo's this great partner. Let's see if we can find them and track them down and get a part of them. It took 3 years, but it worked. Like, it just giving a damn, caring about what you do, it makes all the difference. And then you can see things differently when you don't come from a food perspective and you understand business from different levels. Again, real estate from my side, tech from my partner's side. Just be open, because we have to be open.
Yeah.
So we've hired consultants, we've worked with the right people rather than thinking we can do it on our own and understand other people's plights from 2 months of being in the business versus their 10 years. So just listen and give a damn. But I mean, that applies to anything in life.
Let's see, that's in business is business. Doesn't matter what you're selling or what you're doing. A business is business. The fundamentals are very much the same in any business. The numbers might be a little different, and whatever. But the fundamentals are still the fundamentals. I mean, you got to do things a certain way. And if you're open-minded, like you say, yeah, you got good odds.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with humans. Like, we're not AI, we're not tech, we're not stockbrokers. You're dealing with humans with feelings, with different days, bad days,
emotions. Every day is a different day. Any given Sunday.
Exactly. Language barriers, people that don't know how to communicate properly in our world because they just got to Vancouver. We want to help them get there. Like, one of the things I'm very proud of is that I'm a typical immigrant story. I wasn't born here. My parents came here when I was very young. My dad couldn't get a job because he was highly educated, but it didn't mean anything there. So he had to go work in a factory, go back to school at nighttime, support us during the day while he was re-educating himself, start his own business, and became successful from his own sheer hard work. We really want to cut out that barrier for immigrants to come in, create a food business, or already have a food business back home from where they're from. They can come into our space. We can help them amplify it and grow, create a sustainable life for themselves through our medium again. Or we have great programs, like one called Flavors of Hope, where a woman named Trixie started a social initiative. She brings immigrant women in, helps them develop food recipes, or they might have their own food recipe from home, teach them the business aspect of it, give them all the tools and the tricks that she needs, takes them to farmers markets, grows their brands with them, and then eventually they leave the nest from her program and become Coho members on their own. So how can we do that more and more for people that might have limits to their abilities when it comes to finding a job from their education when they come in from overseas? So that's one of the things that I really enjoy about the business as well, is that it feeds into my own story of where I came from.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I love you, buddy, man. I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's just really good. I mean, it's I mean, I've been around a long time, and it's rarely sort of Phil said before, it's not, it can be just a really tough, lonely industry. And the thing is, it's funny because people are willing to help. Even in the old days, it just wasn't, it wasn't set up to be helped. Like it wasn't conducive to just that. But if you did ask, or if you had some gumption and you try to find people were pretty good and would do it.
Totally.
But the environment needed to change. And it's nice that you do have, like you were saying before, if I'm watching Phil cook, I'm thinking, okay, what are you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
So you walk over and say, listen, you can't do that. You got to do it this way, because if you do it your way, this is what's going to happen. If you do it this way, this is what you're going to mitigate.
Totally.
So,
Totally.
and I think that kind of environment's wonderful.
I don't think I should ever be allowed in your kitchen. I love to cook. I love it.
I love
it.
cooking
I
too.
don't
I
have
would be
any,
a madman in there, man.
but I don't have any formal skills. I think you'd be like, oh my God, who are these two idiots? And why are you, get up, just get up.
Well, you never know. There's some people that haven't had the proper, like all the high-end training or training, whatever, and they've started in our kitchens. They've actually gone some pretty cool businesses. So you just take some willpower and some sense, and you can actually grow it. From our side, it's like exactly. So it's just like we try to tell people, like, look, we're a sustainable business because we do focus on the business. Like, we have to be profitable. We have to be able to grow to help more people. But you can still be profitable and do good. Those two aren't exclusive. Exactly. Those two aren't mutually exclusive. You can do both at the same time. And we tell people, we tell our members, we tell everybody around us, like, we're here to make money so we can help more people. We're not just feeding our own pockets, we're feeding everybody else around us. So we have to be able to do what we do. That's why we charge a little bit more, but we want to be able to give the services that people need from that value and then support more people through that growth. So you can still make profits and do good. Like, it's still, it's a good equation.
You seem to be offering, my friend. I don't think your price is good. I don't know your price. I don't even care. But with the amount of stuff you're sort of offering and the ecosystem you have around you, I mean, I always tell people the same thing. A challenge, like when you hear things like this, I challenge you, go out. Just do the least part. Just don't even look at equipment. Don't look at anything. Just try the least part. And let me know how much fun you have on that puppy.
Oh yeah, you'll be burnt out before you even start your business.
Exactly. It'll die. It's such a great idea. You're a cool person. You would have done it, and you didn't even start it. It was a miserable experience.
Totally.
Just taking that out is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially we're in good locations. Like, we're in areas that are close to neighborhoods. We're in areas, if you're doing ghost kitchens, takes on delivery, we're near your target audience. If you're doing food trucks, we're near your target audience.
That's awesome.
If you're doing CBG products, we can be around where you are. You're not driving for hours to get to the space. Like, we try and be in locations that are beneficial to people. So you're right, absolutely. If you're going to burn yourself even on the lease side of things, rather than just coming to a space like ours.
Wow.
Awesome. Amrit, thanks for doing this.
You're welcome.
I'm really happy you came on. Thanks for doing this with us. Like, seriously,
I appreciate it. I love it. I think I'm a little shy, as you can tell, so it's hard for me to talk about the business that we love. No, I'm kidding. I love talking about this. I can talk for hours, and I encourage anybody that's listening to this, like, please reach out to me. I'm happy to chat with you. I'm happy to talk about what we're doing and the great things that Coho is able to offer, and now the great things that Purebred is able to offer under the umbrella as well. Like, there's so many ways that we can help people through communities, through food services, through what we're doing, through the people that are helping us, through our partners. Everything that comes into one now that's under the Coho brand. So we're very proud of what we've done, but we enjoy these conversations. They're very fun.
Maybe when Phil comes down, Phil's coming down for CHFA. Maybe he'll come down a day early, and if we can come down and visit you, or just see one of the kitchens, to get a better idea. Because if we can help, I'd rather push more people to you. If they get lucky and they get in, God bless them. But at least
appreciate it. No, we'll bring you down for a tour and we'll feed you good.
Oh, I'm good with that too.
I'm spitballing a little. The feeding thing, I'm in for 100%.
That was given.
I'm wondering whether so part of this is there's a visual experience too. Is I wonder if we could shoot a bit of footage,
please,
and maybe talk to one. As I was going to ask you anyway, is as you run into kind of cool brands like the Hawaiian couple who has a restaurant.
Yep.
If you want to throw them at us, we'll make sure they get a podcast episode too.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
As long as we didn't scare you, right?
We love these stories as well, right? So that's and then when we're down there, maybe to meet a couple of folks in your kitchens would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll line it up. Whatever you want to, whatever type of entrepreneur or food business you want to meet, we can absolutely introduce you. Love you to shoot footage, promote everything that's happening in the space. We'll line up them for interviews, like everything, like whatever we can do. We're happy to help.
We're in the same give a shit business, right? Like, we just finished talking to someone and we had to kind of explain, like, we do a lot of this, and they go, well, what's in it for you? And the story's in it for us. Like, we get paid just fine. Could we all make more money? Yes, but this isn't a monetization thing. This is a Canadians are fucking awesome thing. right?
Exactly.
Like, so let's
we need to
just
tell
tell those
people that.
stories because those are awesome, right? Like,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, hell, just have your podcast in our space when you're down. Like, shoot a couple episodes in our space.
we're down.
You're more than welcome.
Okay, if you say so. Jeez.
We're down. We're down. We would love that. We would love that a lot, actually.
Damn
Yeah,
right.
whatever we do to work together to help people be better. You're right. Like, what's in it for you? No, what's in it for them? Like, that makes
Yeah.
you more
It's for all of
successful.
us at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Like,
Well,
listen,
you get
the
better.
more
I'm with
diverse
Amrit
food-
on the give a damn. Like
I'm
that's
all
that's
over
where
it
we're at.
too.
Like this is
But you get better
yeah.
food options. That's what's in it for us. Like, you get
that
better
it was,
food.
to me, that's the part. Like the
Yeah.
more people that come to this country and
Yeah.
bring cool food, man,
Oh man.
open the doors, light
Are you
it up.
kidding?
Oh man.
Are you kidding? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go.
we've got a fellow that has he just opened his own restaurant as well, and he's came from Central Africa and has his own recipes. I've never experienced food so spicy. Like, my ears were sweating, but it's amazing
Wow.
because you get to try different foods from different parts of the world just by being in a space that has all these types of people out there
And
that
that's
you would
the
never
beauty.
see. It is.
And that's what we need. We need more from that continent. We have enough
Yes.
Europeans, got enough Asians, got enough stuff.
We do.
We need other people. I want
We're a
different
British
food.
colony. What do we know about Africa? Like zero, right?
Exactly.
Well, that's
No,
the
really.
point. So
You go to anywhere, like you go to Paris,
Yes.
and you realize right away, like I know nobody from Cameroon. I know
Yep.
nobody
No.
from like
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
what do I know about the cuisine there? Zero, right?
Well,
Like
it's true.
so the more we get, the better.
The more the
right?
merrier, man.
Some people still think of it as a country. Like, Africa's not a country. It's made of other countries. It's not
Made of
just
a
one
lot
entity.
of countries
Yeah.
with a lot of
With a
A lot of
diverse
countries.
people.
Well,
Exactly.
the countries change week to week sometimes, but
Well,
Sometimes, but
okay,
still
too.
good food.
nonetheless, lots of countries, lots of cuisine, right? So
All about the
Still
food,
very,
baby.
still
All
very
about
good food. So yeah, whenever you guys come down, we're gonna host you. We'll take you out. We'll take you through the spaces. Host your podcast there. Shoot your video. Let's get it done. Like, I love it. Like, give a damn. Like, you guys give a damn. It's awesome to talk to you.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
Looking awesome.
You're a treat, my
Awesome.
friend. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Amrit.
coming on.
Appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All good.
Okay.
You go enjoy the rest of your day. Phil, you stick around.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll chat soon, guys.
Okay.
Take care, buddy.
Bye, Amrit.
Cheers. Thanks,
Thanks.
guys. Bye, Phil. Bye, Ken.
Bye.
Come on.
Spicy enough to sweat through your ears.
Jeez. I'm all over that one.
That's
I love this
alarming
idea.
and
I
yet amazing.
love what he's doing. I didn't realize
at
they
this
were.
rate, I need to come down to Vancouver like tomorrow
You might have to spend a month. Fuck.
because the list is like fucking.
I know. The thing is, on this one, like, there's a few like this one, like, for sure. Because I can even just conceptually, I didn't realize. I see. Okay, I thought it was just strictly, truly more of a shared kitchen, like, and that's it. I didn't realize all the other resources, but like even just the potential for procurement, like just all the shit.
Yeah.
If you could
Who's
just give the
cooled it all?
entrepreneur a chance just to focus on that part of the business, we got way better odds as a country.
Yeah.
Just having a lot more food produced here.
I agree.
Yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, that's really amazing. What he's doing, like,
cool,
really amazing.
Pretty cool.
All right, young man. That is all. I'm out of here in just a little bit. I am going down to. I'm actually excited because
You're telling
I'm
people this,
going
we're still
down
recording, right?
Yeah, we're still recording. So I'm going
Okay,
down to
just
the
making
Toronto
sure.
podcast meetup. Going to the
look at
Toronto
you.
podcast meetup. So I'm actually going to go meet other Canadian. It's a Canadian podcast meetup. At the Creator Club downtown. So I'm kind of excited about
Joe Social.
exactly what comes. So okay, so riddle me this, right? When was the last time you met another podcaster? Yeah, you got to think about that, right? So our friends Alex and Justin.
I talked to Corin the other day.
Okay, yeah. Corin's a newly minted
I don't really know a lot of podcasters.
No, but this is what I'm saying, right? Because you and I, we've been doing this for a long time, but even me, I know a handful of these guys or a handful of others, right? So I'm so curious. Like, I don't know if I get there, I'm going to go, oh my God, like, who are these crazy people, right? Like, or they might go, who the fuck are you, right?
Who are you and why are you here?
Like, I'm so curious as to what happens there, right? So, yeah.
That's interesting. Wow. I didn't know you were doing that. That's pretty cool.
I actually told you, but I don't think you remember.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's totally cool. I'm so interested to see what happens. So anyway, that's where I'm going.
Good on you. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening.